The episode 5 of the House of Dragons rather started with the death of a marriage or the end of a marriage and ended with the start of another, both witnessing tragic incidents. If you are just chancing on this video, I review movies, I talk about friendship, I go personal sometimes, and sometimes I talk relationship. Welcome to the channel. My name is Bevlin. Since this is my first review of the House of Dragons, kindly permit me to just give you a brief background from episode 1 to 4, and then we'll delve into the episode 5 today. Very briefly, please stay with me. So the House of Dragons is a series of events that happened before Game of Thrones, right? So there was a king, King Jaehaerys. He ruled 60 years, prosperity, peace, but he didn't have an heir because both sons had died. Now, he had to choose between the eldest descendant, who is a female Rhaenys, and the eldest male descendant, who is Viserys. Now, the council chose Viserys because apparently no woman has inherited the Iron Throne, right? So they chose him. Now, Viserys had a first child, who is Renira, is a female, and he wanted a male, right? And his quest and his desire for a male had led him to lose his wife and the son that he got finally, but the son lived like a few hours because the childbirth was very difficult for both the mother and the child, so both of them died. Now the king came to the realization that no, I have to name Renira as the heir because she's the only fruit I have now. But then tradition demands that the king marries again, and so he did marry again. He chose the friend of Renira, which really broke her heart because she also saw that no, my friend is old enough to give birth and she could easily give my father an heir who is a male. Then it happened. Lady Alicent, who is Renira's friend, and then now the queen, gave birth to a child who is male, Aegon, and so that is there. Now there is a male heir, there is a female heir. Already King Viserys had already named Renira as the queen or heir to the Iron Throne once he passes on. Now there is the king has a brother, Daemon, who is quite close with Renira. He's also thirsty and hungry for the Iron Throne, but then his decisions, the decisions he makes quite hasty, and so the king doesn't want him to be the queen, the heir to the Iron Throne, so he didn't name him to be the heir to the Iron Throne. Now, Daemon at a point in time got Renira out of the palace some way. They went to town to, hear what people are saying about a woman ascending their throne, inheriting the Iron Throne. But then Renira was like, I don't care what people are saying. I want to inherit the Iron Throne and I can't be the queen. And then he takes her later on to a brothel where he arouses her interest and then just leaves her hanging. She goes back home, commands her guard to sleep with her, and that happened. Then the following day, the queen summons Renira and asked if anything happened between her uncle and herself because an informant had come to tell the hand of the king that something happened at the brothel. Now, Renira denied that anything happened. She told the queen that nothing happened, and so the queen believed her, convinced the husband that I believe Renira. She said nothing happened, and so nothing happened. Now, Renira and her father, the king Viserys, had a conversation, and Renira was like, okay, so the man is making an accusation against me because it was the hand of the king who told the king that this and this had happened. So Renira was like, okay, this man has been after the throne for a very long time. I will agree to marry, but he has to go. Now the king thought about how he married Lady Alicent and realized that his hand had planted the lady in his life. And so he sacked her and chose the one I was expecting that he would choose as the next hand of the king. And then he did just that. Now to the episode 5. See, quite short. We go to episode 5. Now that the king has decided that Renira must marry, and so he made his way to Lord Corlys's abode, because I think he did that because the first instance, Lord Corlys proposed his daughter to him to marry when he lost his wife, but he rejected that. She's too young, and so he thought it was right for him to go to Lord Corlys to ask for his son's hand in marriage to the daughter. Now, the daughter and the son had a conversation. Renira and Lord Corlys's son, I think his name is Leno. Yeah, they had a conversation and they came to an agreement that this is not what we both want, but we have to do it because of where we find ourselves, our responsibilities to the throne and to people. And so we can come to an agreement that we will marry, have children, but then after all is said and done, we will both go and pursue our own interests, right? So we'll go and pursue our own interests. So Leno tells his friend, who is his partner, that Renira and I have an agreement, and so after the marriage and all is said and done, we will still be pursuing our own interests. Renira does same with her guard, who she has affection for, but the guard goes like, the guard got angry. He doesn't want to be a whore. He doesn't want to be the side guy of the queen or the princess. And so he gets very, very angry, very, very furious. A side we never expected to see. Now they get back. The queen summons Renira's guard to question her, to question him about something that happened, because while they were away, she gathered some information that, made her quite furious, made her angry, thinking that the king had been hiding information from her and all of that. So she summons Sir Christian, who is a guard. She hadn't even mentioned anybody's name. We were all praying that Sir Christian would not be smart, and he wasn't smart. He just said stuff that the queen hadn't asked him, and we were all like, the writers got us there, because that was not what we were expecting him to do, and then they really, really got us there. So the queen was like, okay, the queen found new information apparently that maybe Daemon and Renira happened, plus the fact that Renira and the guard had happened, Sir Christian had happened. So she was quite angry. She thought that the king knew about it and was covering up. Now the wedding day was approaching. It even came, so they had to get married. Renira was all dressed up nicely. Lord Corlys and his family flew in. That was the first time I was seeing Lord Corlys's wife ride her dragon. It was so nice to watch. So they came in for the marriage to happen. Now Lord Corlys's son came with his partner. Of course, if they have an agreement, and so after everything is said and done, you will have our relationship. Renira will have her relationship with her guard. But then Lord Corlys's son, Leneo's partner, is quite nosy. I saw him to be trouble, because I felt that if what happened didn't happen, he would have been in trouble. He was able to see that, okay, so the guard is the one Renira likes. Went to him and was like, okay, so we both have interest in this marriage. Let's just do it to protect their secrets so that we'll all be fine. Already, Sir Christian is angry. He's fuming. The lady he likes is getting married, and you go there to him to tell him that, okay, you know what, we both have interest, but there's nothing we can do. So let's just keep quiet and suffer, and then sleep with them on the side. He gets very, very angry. He got extremely angry, but he kept his cool. Now the queen came in late to the ceremony, and she came wearing green. Apparently, when the Hightowers, her house, decide to declare war, they come with the outfit green. The king was not even paying attention to the color that she was wearing, but I think Renira got a clue as to why the woman wore green. She came in there, she came late, she interrupted the king, something that the king doesn't like, doesn't accept. She did that because she was angry. She has declared war, that my son Aegon is the one supposed to be the heir to the Iron Throne, right? So the ceremony was happening. Now Daemon, who was going around doing his own thing, attends the ceremony. Merrymaking time happens. They were dancing, all in that, and then Daemon was dancing with Renira. At a point, they came to dance together, and she was like, "You are late. If you wanted to marry me, you would have done something about it." I think they have a very, very close relationship. That Renira wouldn't have minded marrying her uncle, but then it didn't happen. I think he was late. So the king's guard gets so angry, joins the crowd, and then beats Leneo's partner to death. He kills the guy, disfigured his face. So much anger. He doesn't have any control. He wasn't smart enough to keep his mouth shut, and now he has killed somebody. After he killed the person, he decided to, kill himself. I'm like, okay, if you wanted to die, go into a room, stab yourself and die. Why go outside where someone can see you to save you from killing yourself? Then again, the sad thing and the twist, I was very shocked, because even at the exact point where the guy was killed, that was the same place where the marriage happened. The marriage continued anyways. Renira wedded Leno, and I was shocked. I mean, the marriage continued. It happened anyways. The same place that the guy was killed. I mean, how difficult, how painful would it be for you to marry someone you do not like or love on the day that the love of your life was killed or had been killed? Too painful, too painful, too painful. I think the games for the throne is actually starting in the episode 5, right? It's really starting with this episode 5 where Alicent has declared war. Renira is also in for the throne, and Daemon is still around scheming and then doing his stuff. I don't know what his next plan is going to be, because right now Leno and Renira are married. So I mean, that's what happened in episode 5. The games have just started. What's going to happen in episode 6? What did you make of it? What was your most intriguing part for you? Do well to leave that in the comment section. My name is Bevlin. Do well to subscribe, like the video, and be back for the next review. Thank you for watching. Take care.